Protect your car with 3W Liners all-weather floor mats. Made from durable materials like TPE and rubber, our mats are designed to withstand rain, snow, and mud with deep grooves to trap dirt and liquids. For a custom fit and advanced protection, visit 3W Liners. That's the number 3, WLINERS.com today. At Acasis, innovation drives us. Since 2008, we've been creating cutting-edge technology products that make your life easier. With a focus on performance, design, and customer service, we're here to help you work smarter, not harder. Join us on our journey to simplify your world. Visit Acasis.com today. That's ACASIS.com today.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Unlock a world of convenience with Mully Box, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. From gourmet snacks to unique finds, each box is tailored to your tastes. Experience the joy of surprises. Subscribe today at mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com. We are Rogue Media Sports.
Whoa, come on in. It's a Manic Monday. You're on the Cam Show on Rogue Media Sports Network. The station that reaches the beaches, here live on YouTube every day, and then wherever you get your podcast. Cam Stewart, Zach Burke, alongside. Zach, how was your weekend, buddy? Before we get into the hard-hitting stuff here, I'd love to know how your weekend was as we closed in on the great Christmas holiday here in just about a week and a half.
A little bit chillier here around the Central Texas area. Not what you would consider a Chamber of Commerce day the entire weekend. But you know what? We still get out. We have fun. Christmas is right around the corner. But
Oh,
it
right
was
around
fantastic.
Have you done all your shopping, Zach?
Oh, no. Come on, man. You know me.
Oh,
I am
neither have
Christmas
I.
Eve. You'll see me out at the malls. I'll see you there too, guys.
Zach will be out.
Oh.
Zach will be out and getting those gifts. Oh boy, like Santa himself out on Christmas Eve with the gifts.
Yes. Not so jolly, though. Not so jolly.
Oh, buddy, we are ready to bring this to you coast to coast here on YouTube, from Purple Mountain Majesty to the Purple People Eaters of Minnesota. We have got it for you all across this great land. It's getting old. The Celtics lost. No. Sorry. The Bruins. No, not the Patriots lost. The Patriots lost on Sunday. I made a promise on this show. What was that, 2 weeks ago? Before the bye week. I said, you know what? I'm going to stop going scorched earth about the Patriots. I'm going to stop doing it. They suck. I know they suck. You know they suck. The whole world knows they suck. They know they suck. Their owner knows they suck. Their coach knows they suck. So I'm just going to bring a measured approach to this. The Patriots lost because it is a day that ends in Y, and it's the year 2024, and it was an NFL game, so they lost. Boy, can't they just all be against the Bears? Can we just play every week against the Bears? That would be a good Christmas gift. Instead, the Patriots fall to 3-11. In a 30-17 loss to Arizona, which didn't feel quite that close. And in fact, Gerard Mayo said after the game, he said, "We are what our record says." And I said, well, I don't know if you're quite that good. I don't know if I see this team yesterday and say, yeah, it's a 3-win team. Not quite that good. But I had like a come to Jesus moment while watching the Patriots-Cardinals game, one where it's going to be like marked down in my diary as a big-time moment for my self-esteem and my self-assurance, because every week I come on here the Monday after a game and I talk about how it's not Drake May's fault. Like, if I could spin zone the Jamie Foxx, Doc Rivers impression, it's not Drake's fault. It's not Drake's fault. That was really bad. But it's not Drake's fault. I say that week after week after week. I'm like, this kid is the future. He's so good. He's electric. He's just got nothing around him. And every week by like the middle of the week, I don't know if it's letting the comments get to me or just thinking about it more. I'm like, am I being naive here? Am I giving too much slack to a quarterback for a team that's 3-11? And really, he has only started and finished one of those wins. Like, should I be, maybe not necessarily putting more blame on Drake, but saying like, how great can he be when they're 3-11? How are his hands clean of this? And then after the first drive of that game against the Cardinals yesterday, I said, you know what, Cam? You are a good, handsome, bright young man. You had it right this whole time. Because, the whole game showed it, but that first drive, I was like, yes, this is not Drake May's fault. 3rd and 5, they're in field goal range. He audibles at the line of scrimmage to a run play, and Antonio Gibson, who's been playing pretty well the last few weeks, gashes it for like 12 or 13 on 3rd and 5. You guessed it, flag, holding, offense, Layden Robinson. Now it's a 3rd and 15. You actually get a bit of a break because for some reason the Cardinals jump offside. So now it's a 3rd and 10 or whatever, back to 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 9. And they drop a pass, they go for a field goal, and Joey Slye misses it. And I'm just like, this is it. Like, this is it right here. This is why it's not this kid's fault. And then I look later in the game, and Drake May has, this is the third quarter, has Kayshon Boutte wide open and misses him. Totally misses him. And the announcers are saying, well, this was the knock on Drake May out of college. He sometimes overthrows these, doesn't hit the open man, trying to do too much. I'm looking up at the box score. It's his second missed throw of the day, like second incompletion. And if we're talking about missed throws, because that was a missed throw, that's the first one he's had in like 3 games that he's like really badly missed a guy who was open the whole time. And so I'm like, okay, I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt there. The next play, he throws it in Kayshon Boutte's hands. Boutte's got to reach down a little bit, which is always better than reaching up for a hospital ball. Gets both hands on it, tips it twice, hands it to the defensive back for an interception. And I said, like, how is this fair? Whenever he does actually throw to guys where they can catch it, they're giving it to the defensive backs. And that's a pick against Drake May. Like, what is the guy going to do? He makes an incredible, that touchdown pass he has is this incredible flip, like right at the line of scrimmage as he's running out of bounds to Pop Douglas for a touchdown. And it's like if Patrick Mahomes did that, he'd get a Pulitzer. Like, he's doing it with nothing. I look at this offense. Antonio Gibson's had a good couple of weeks here. I like him. Ramondre Stevenson, occasional production. A quarter of the year, he'll give you some production. Hunter Henry, probably still a nice veteran guy on a contending team. But other than that, like, who on this offense would actually play meaningful snaps for a real team? Kendrick Bourne? Kayshon Boutte? Jalen Polk? Even Pop Douglas. We always say how great Pop Douglas is. Got to get him the ball. Can he get open at some point? Because we're going on, 8 or 10 weeks where he's had a quarterback that can get him the ball. He can get everyone else the ball. Austin Hooper? You think that guy's starting anywhere? Like, this is a joke. The offensive line is not just the worst in the NFL, but one of the worst in the history of the NFL. Horrible. I mean, in the first quarter yesterday, they're going screen pass, quick, just anything to get the ball out of this guy's hand quickly because they give him no shot. And never is it more apparent than the first play of the second quarter. It's a 3rd and 8. And the last play in the first quarter, they're trying to draw him offside just to get a closer 3rd down, which is the best Patriot strategy they have on 3rd down right now. They don't get it. So it's 3rd and 8 to start the second quarter. And Ben Brown, the guy who signed off the street, off the practice squad of one of the other worst teams in the league, Vegas, a couple of months ago, Ben Brown snaps the ball into his taint and it rolls to the quarterback. There are problems. There are teams all over this league that have problems getting the ball to their best players. Usually it's receivers or running backs whose teams are always trailing. The Patriots have a problem getting the ball to their best player, and he's the fucking quarterback. They can't even snap him the ball on crucial downs. Like, talk about not giving him a chance in hell. This has been a complete mismanagement of a roster from last year to this, and a roster that wasn't very good anyway. They did everything wrong going into this season. And they have not even given their young quarterback a shot. And you know what? It's not just the free agents. It's not just the guys they brought back, because nobody else from the draft class is making any kind of impact whatsoever. The guy who's making the most impact of that draft class outside of Drake May is Jalen Polk. And I wish he weren't making such an impact. He fucking blows. You drafted another receiver. He doesn't even see the field. Worst wide receiver room in the league. You've already cut a couple guys, and yet Javon Baker cannot see the field. Caden Wallace has been injured. You hope to get something more out of him. But it's like, this is why I'm all about just whoever the best guy is at their draft position. unless it's a quarterback, obviously. And right now, the Patriots are at 3. The 2 teams ahead of them are both going quarterback, and that's what you need. You can pick 5th, but if the 4 teams ahead of them are picking quarterback, you're basically picking first. If it's Travis Hunter, if it's I don't really want Ted McMillan, if it's Carter, the pass rusher from Penn State, take him, or if it's one of the tackles. But at this point, you just need help at every other position other than quarterback, that you can't afford to be picky when it comes to the draft and being like, we've got to focus on this position. As much as I would love it to be tackle, because again, this is the worst offensive line I've ever seen in any level of football. And you saw it again yesterday. Like I can't, man. Like I can't be that picky. Because would it be nice to have that? Sure. But you also really need help at corner outside of Christian Gonzalez, who's making a real legit Pro Bowl All-Pro case right now. So you can have Travis Hunter line up on the other side and give him some shine on offense. He's not going to play every down like he did in college, both ways, but there's absolutely reason to believe that this kid can play some receiver in the NFL. In fact, your leading receiver at halftime of the game yesterday was a cornerback. That's what we're talking about with this team, like comically bad. Marcus Jones, the cornerback that the OC didn't even know who he was a couple weeks ago, even though he's played offense for this team before, was their leading receiver at halftime. And their leading receiver at the end of the game wasn't that much better. Kendrick Bourne, 3 for 44. Wow. Congrats. And there's going to have to be shakeup on the staff, obviously. But they can't stop the run and they can't run the ball. And I'm literally like banging my head against the wall. I almost gave myself a concussion yesterday because I'm watching this team try to run the fucking ball in 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1 and getting absolutely nothing. And still this illusion, this idea that they are a running football team. I don't know where on earth they get that from. Like horrid offensive line and run game. And yet they're like, no, we're a tough running team. We're a tough football team. The fuck you are. You can't stop the run either. James Conner, who is still one of the most underrated backs in the league, 16, 110, 7 yards to carry. Couple touchdowns. Had a 53-yard run in there. Like just rip them. Can't cover a tight end. Not that you can cover many receivers anyway. Gonzalez is the only one that can. He holds Marvin Harrison Jr. to 2 catches for 32 yards on 6 targets. Made a couple of great plays. Can't cover a tight end. Trey McBride, 9 catches, 87 yards, 9 catches on 10 targets. Can't cover him. Kyler Murray didn't even really get out of the pocket, man, at all. And you still let him score 30 points on you and beat you. By the way, the Jets scored 30 yesterday. So there's still only a handful of teams that have not scored 30 this year. That includes the New England Patriots and the Kansas City Chiefs. Very odd. But like seriously, you look at this offense, it's Drake May, Antonio Gibson, a little bit of Hunter Henry, and that's it. That's it. I mean, even Hunter Henry, 4 catches for 25 yards. You know, Pop Douglas, 3 for 11. Jalen Polk, shut out completely. 1 target. And I don't even know if that was a real target. I think that might have been the one that fell short to him, but was over the head of Butte that we talked about earlier. Like it's really, football is the ultimate team game. I have never seen a team rely more on one guy than this New England Patriots team. They just have absolutely nothing. And the fact that the quarterback keeps them in games week after week shows that he has to be special. He has to be. And the fact that he's not making excuses, even though his head coach is even more encouraging. You know, you've already solved that he's got a talent potential like Aaron Rodgers without the head case potential of an Aaron Rodgers. And I think that's a win for the Patriots, big time. But they're not winning on the football field. And it gets even worse when they go to the podium after the game. It's an absolute clusterfuck of a franchise right now. And I've said it before. I will say it again. It really reared itself yesterday. Drake May, Christian Gonzalez. Those are your NFL players. Everyone else is completely expendable. And no one should feel safe about their jobs outside of those two guys. Maybe no one in the goddamn organization should feel good and feel comfortable about their jobs other than Drake May and Christian Gonzalez. Gonzalez had a great game yesterday. Once again, making plays, sticking to one of the best young receivers in the league. Again, this is a kid in his rookie season, essentially. Played 4 games last year, 3.5. Okay? And finally, I hear the broadcasters, which I take it with a grain of salt. Now we're getting the C and D teams all season long and for the last couple of years. But the broadcast team is saying, like, this kid's legit. Like, this kid is going to be an all-pro at some point. Like, he's making a stiff case for this year being an all-pro. He is that good. And you've got a foundational piece on defense, and you've got one on offense. You should have some better complementary pieces than you do, but that's the shithole situation you've got right now. And before we move on and get to what the Patriots did after the game, I do want to pull Zach back in here because I got to congratulate Zach. Okay. Biggest in true like Bill O'Brien fashion. We will clap this up for the AFC South champions.
Thank you.
Texans. Once again, convincing yesterday.
Convincing's a little.
Hey, they were above 500, so there's no way they were going to lose to the Dolphins. Like just no chance.
I don't know about that. Again, I watched the Dolphins defense just pressure CJ Stroud. Funny enough, I had a pretty lengthy conversation about the team on Saturday night before the game and just talking about how that offense is almost so predictable in a way, kind of like Bill O'Brien's offense was when he coached the Texans. It's very vanilla and you kind of know what's headed. Yeah. But I think I'd read at one point in time, and it might have changed in the past couple weeks, but there was like CJ ranked in the top 5 of 3rd and 10s that he had to face because the offense just couldn't get anything going on the first 2 plays, as well as top 5 and 3rd and longs from being sacked and like the offensive line not being able to protect them. Granted, there's injuries across it. The AFC South is too bad of a division for you to limp in like that, because that's the thing is they are the division champs, but of all the divisions in football, it might be the weakest division.
World's tallest midget, which is what it was like in the O'Brien years. To be fair, there's some 9-7 teams as the South champs,
but they would go in and beat the Bengals in that wild card game to at least be like, hey, we won a game. It was always the Bengals who were there. Yeah.
Beat Matt McGloin that one year.
Oh yeah,
in the Raiders.
No, that's
they
true.
They were down to their 3rd string quarterback.
Yeah.
What was I going to? Shit. What was I going to say about the Texans? I had a profound point. Oh, I will ask this.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, is this a disappointment for them this year? Because I was thinking about this yesterday. Like, Kansas City and Buffalo are just. All due respect to the Ravens, those 2 teams are just feel like much better than anyone else in the AFC.
Yeah. No, for sure.
And I thought the Texans were going to be in that mix.
I thought so too. I think that the injury bug bit them. I think not having Diggs after you know, that because the first couple games, that offense was a lot more explosive. I think after the year they had last year where nobody expected them to do much and they had the year they did, I think people's hopes were high. And it's still a playoff team, but it's not the playoff team you thought you were going to get. I think at least the fan base or most people thought it was a playoff team that could compete for, and get to an AFC title game potentially. Sure, would Pat Mahomes probably work his magic or find some way to, or Josh Allen and the Bills. Yeah. But you could be good enough to contend as one of the best teams in the AFC. Right now, they look like a team that could very well go home first week of the playoffs.
Glad to see the Mahomes gimmick is back, by the way.
Yeah.
Late season. Is Mahomes hurt? Oh, he's hobbling. Oh, yep. Get the camera on it, Pat. All right, we're good. We got it. You're a warrior. The last 2 teams the Patriots have played, by the way, the Cardinals and the Colts, are both now, like, with those wins, very much still in contention for the playoffs. And I'm like, this league, man.
It's
seriously
weird.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, at least Arizona won by 2 touchdowns yesterday, but
yeah,
The Colts needed a touchdown and 2-point conversion in the last seconds, a 4th and goal touchdown, and then a 2-point conversion to beat this Patriots team. I'm like, have fun. Like, at this point, I would rather be in the tank mode than having either Kyler Murray or Anthony Richardson quarterbacking my team to the playoffs. I think before we get out of this, just a terrible, terrible noon slate for the NFL, man. I get people are bitching about it more than ever, and we're hearing about it in the NBA and the NHL too. Like, the ratings are going down, but it just feels like the product is just not as good, like, at all. And obviously we get a great Buffalo Detroit game yesterday. I got to be honest with you. I don't even know who played last night. I have no clue. Didn't bother.
I didn't either. I'm sitting here trying to think if I at least scanned through it, but I don't think I did.
I said it after that opening game, Kansas City, Baltimore, where Likely had his foot out of bounds, barely, which would have been the game-winning touchdown or whatever it was. And I'm like, the NFL, whenever they have a big-time matchup, it always delivers. It always delivers. And it felt like that was the kiss of death, because I don't know that it's really – I mean, Buffalo, Kansas City was a good one. Buffalo, Detroit yesterday, those delivered. But it's like we're not getting as many of those games as we used to. Because if it doesn't involve Buffalo or Kansas City, it's probably –
or Detroit, maybe.
Or Detroit, it doesn't really have that intrigue. Instead of having, 6 or 7 teams that can bring some legitimate intrigue to a game – and some showmanship or whatever, some entertainment value, there's 3.
Yeah.
And one of them hasn't even scored 30 points this year. So anyway, the Patriots are terrible on the field. They're even worse after the game at the podium. We'll catch you up on a crazy quote from Gerard Mayo. That's next on the Camp Show.
Ready to bring your vision to life? At Small Rig, every idea, design, and product is inspired by you, the creator. With our industry-first under co-design mode and the Dream Rig free customization project, we unite with global creators to turn big dreams into reality. Whether it's a cage rig or mount, Small Rig's versatile gear is built to elevate your craft. Small Rig, where your creativity meets our innovation. Go to smallrig.com.
Want to turn your passion into profit? With Blogify, creating a blog has never been easier. Build, customize, and grow your site with powerful tools designed for beginners and pros alike. Start sharing your story today and watch your audience grow with Blogify. Download Blogify now in the App Store. Overwhelmed by your inbox? Clean Email is here to help. Organize, clean, and manage your emails with powerful automation tools. Say goodbye to spam and clutter and enjoy a stress-free inbox. Try Clean Email today at cleanemail.com. That's CLEAN email.com. Stay connected no matter where you are with eSIM-X. Say goodbye to expensive roaming charges and physical SIM cards. With access to over 200 global carriers, we make mobile connectivity seamless and affordable for travelers worldwide. Join the future of communication today at eSIMX.com. That's ESIMX.com.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
It is Matt Mosley, and it's the Obstructed View podcast, Rogue Media Network. I think they're learning that there's really no wonderful view of me. See, I feel like they think this feed's going to be really wonderful.
There must have been, no BS, 20 scouts, 15 to 20 NBA scouts there to see him, and he was top 5.
When your old number wasn't working, I went through various channels to track you down. So unfortunately, you can never get away from me. But I'm happy to have you today.
No, thanks for having me. And you know we always family no matter where I'm at.
Welcome to a special edition of the Doomsday Podcast. Look at this. We got one of the great golfers in the world, certainly one of the great pass rushers in NFL history.
But he also had a vision for you. And so it was like you had the best of both worlds, right? You had somebody on you early, and then you had somebody who was maybe
More relaxed. What were a couple of your biggest takeaways? The person you referred to that I spoke with, I've spoken to some personnel people and general managers of the league to get some, independent, objective assessments of the players the Cowboys picked, and we'll go through that. Has the general manager changed at all in the draft room?
Nope, it's been the same since I was here the last time.
Welcome back, kiddies. It's the Cam Show. It's Rogue Media Sports Network. Patriots coming off a 30-17 loss to the Cardinals. Pretty embarrassing one. I mean, they're not as good a team as the Cardinals, which sucks to say because I don't think the Cardinals are all that special. But to have those mistakes, those same mistakes, and that same just crap, just brain dead football after a bye week, it's just something we're still getting used to in this town. And with this team, I know we're out of the Belichick era and we're a couple years removed from the best of Belichick, right? But to see that kind of performance after a bye week, to me, it just really was disheartening. And it wasn't just for me, but for most fans, and of course, it felt that way for the ownership. It sounded like, because they panned up to the owner's box after a loss of 5 on a run play, and Jonathan Kraft and Bob Kraft are just shaking their heads. And Jonathan Kraft saying it was terrible play calling. You can read his lips. Terrible play calling. And all I could think of was the "I think you should leave" hot dog meme. We're all trying to find the guys who did this, because there was reports last week that Jerod Mayo was on the hot seat and that these last couple of games would be a, kind of rehearsal of, hey, what is the identity of this team? Are you going to eliminate the stupid mistakes after a bye week? Are you going to be competitive in these games? And so far the answer is no. No, they're not. And 2 of their final 3 are against the Buffalo Bills. So they're certainly not going to be competitive in those games. And it's bad enough that the Patriots play so poorly on the field, right? But then to take it to the press conference after the game is a whole nother thing, because the microcosm of this shit performance by the Patriots yesterday was in the third quarter when 3rd and 1, they run it right into the center's ass, don't get anything. And then 4th and 1, they hand it off and run it right into the center's ass and don't get anything. And we've all seen that Drake May can get out of the pocket and can run a little bit. Jerod Mayo was asked about that after the game, and he had one of the worst responses you could possibly have.
You consider running Drake in that situation, that it's a short yard situation, he can run?
You said it, I didn't.
I'm sorry, what? You said it, I didn't. Boy, what kind of bus was it? School bus? Party bus? Charter bus? What kind of bus did you just throw your offensive coordinator under? What was the plates on the bus you just tossed Alex Van Pelt under right there? Not that Alex Van Pelt does not deserve criticism, but are you kidding me? That's what the head coach says? You said it, not me? What? Would Belichick have ever said that? In fact, I'm going to play you this. It's Burt Breer after the game talking about that exact quote. Now, I will warn you, the video gets a little choppy. They kind of cut in between things. But for some reason, this is the only video I could find on this exchange on the internet. Here's what Burt Breer, who covers the Patriots on the Patriots beat, had to say about Jerod Mayo's interesting comments after the game.
That felt like he was throwing Alex Van Pelt under the bus.
Yeah, that's the only reason you're comparing it to that. Was this a bad? So what do you think of the comment that was made?
I just think that's a really hard thing to come back from, because the players see that, they see the lack of accountability, the other coaches see that, and so let's say you come out of this year and you're not happy with how things are, but you're going to keep Jerod Mayo and you're going to change some of the staff. How are you going to get coaches here then? Because they're all going to think that Jerod Mayo is in the hot seat in 2025, and now you have this. Right where he threw a guy who's been in the industry for a long time under the bus. Now, I assume Jerod's going to walk it back tomorrow. The trouble with that is that we've already been down that road a few times.
Too many times.
And I think Jerod's got a great potential as a coach, but it's starting to feel like if you're the Kraft and you're looking at it and it's like we only have one shot at Mike Vrabel, how do you compare what's happened here versus Vrabel? And on that field today, right?
Were you inferring that Mayo probably talked himself onto the hot seat today, Albert?
I think he may have, yeah. I can't remember seeing a comment like that from a head coach in 20 years.
20 years covering this league. He says he's never seen a comment like that. I'd be hard-pressed to go and find one. In the NFL, where a head coach is just openly throwing his coordinator under the bus like that, in a pretty embarrassing way. Oh, this is bad. This is not just bad football bad, like it was last year. Last year, you were like, okay, you need another quarterback here. Let's get that top 5 pick, and they're staying competitive in these games, but they just have no offense. It was terrible. Don't get me wrong, but now it's all that bad stuff, and then after the game, even worse. Just dragging your own team through the mud. And I can't believe that after we had that report last week that this was Mayo's coaching for his job the last few weeks, that was coming from Greg Bedard. They had a report from The Athletic on, I think it came out on Friday or Saturday, that said Mayo has been privately assured by the Crafts that his job is safe. I'm just like, why? Genuinely, give me one good reason why this head coach should be assured that his job is safe. Because again, looking at this franchise, we just went through 20 years of the greatest quarterback in the history of the sport. And he's always kept saying, he wouldn't give up reps in practice. He didn't want to come out of games, even if they were blowouts. And he was just taking knees. He didn't want to because he was afraid of losing his job at every turn. And it made him the best ever. And now, with a coach who is 3-11, who has no Rolodex of assistant coaches, just threw one completely under the bus, we're like, no, Jerod, it's okay. Take your time. I understand that in a workplace, to some degree, you want your workers to be comfortable, right? They don't want to be looking over their shoulders all the time. But this is the NFL. It is the ultimate results-driven business. And you're telling a 3-11 coach that he's safe before the season's even over? Again, I ask, what happened to this organization? The Patriots used to be so against that. Win, win, win. Shut the fuck up and win. No excuses, no blaming other people, no trashing people in the media. You just win. And we have gone away from all of those things. They do trash people in the media. They say the wrong thing. They don't ignore the noise. And they don't win. Why on earth should the head coach of a 3-11 team be feeling good about coming back in that same position next year? Give me one good reason why Jerod Mayo should feel comfortable as the Patriots head coach, and why the ownership would assure him privately that, hey, you are going to be our guy next year. That's unserious. That's not what serious football franchises do. But the Patriots are no longer a serious franchise. And what sucks is they have something, I think, that a couple of serious franchises would kill for. You think the Steelers would kill to have a prospect like Drake May playing quarterback? There are factions of Steelers fans that have been asking them to not go to have a winning record for years so that they can go and get a Drake May. They tried with Kenny Pickett. He was garbage. And now they're just going to ride with Russell Wilson until they have a losing season. You don't think they'd kill for Drake May? I'll bet they would. How about that team you played yesterday, Arizona? You think they'd like to have a guy like Drake May instead of just wasting away with Kyler Murray? I think so. Instead, the Patriots have that. They have the golden goose, and they're going to keep everyone else in place. They're going to say 3 wins, that's good enough for us. Let's run it back. And maybe they'll get rid of DeMarcus Covington. Maybe they'll get rid of Alex Van Pelt. Not that those would be bad moves in a vacuum, but to what Burt Breer just said, after you fire those guys and throwing all the blame on them, with a coach who should be on the hot seat no matter what, you think you're going to attract good assistant coaches to come here? Like it's banana land. It's a fantasy world. And to be honest, the way we're looking at the results right now, it's pretty much a fantasy to believe that Jerod Mayo is going to lead this team to the playoffs or to contending in the next 2-3 seasons. I just don't see it. I know it's a bad roster, but the mark of a good coach is winning a couple of those games that you probably didn't deserve to. And instead, he's losing games that they probably deserve to win. Indianapolis, they deserve to win that game. Miami, earlier in the year, Miami at home, they deserve to win that game. And instead, they're losing those games instead of turning the tide. Chicago, they're awful. The Jets, they're going to be picking right behind you. The Bengals aren't that much better, and they didn't have their second leading receiver in that game, and they had a quarterback coming off a major surgery on his wrist. Those are your 3 wins right there. And yet we're telling the head coach, don't worry, Jerod, you'll be okay. It's a fucking joke. It's an absolute joke, this franchise right now. And it's not the only problem they need to solve. But again, you look at the moves they made in the offseason, the guys they re-signed, the guys they didn't, the guys they drafted, the guys they tried to buy on the cheap and just ended up cutting loose. That's all in the GM. And then you look at this 3-win team that makes the same boneheaded mistakes week after week after week. The coaching staff that couldn't figure out how to work in any of the wide receivers into the game plan, even after a bye week. You're going to run all that back and just say, yeah, let's do it again. Ramondre, the franchise. Ugh. It's fucking horseshit, man. It's horseshit football that we are watching again. And amazingly, which I didn't think we'd be saying at the beginning of the season, amazingly, it does not have to be that bad. Even with this roster, it doesn't have to be that bad. But it is. And apparently the coach is safe. Give me Ben Johnson. Give me Mike Vrabel. Give me Bill Belichick. Don't give a shit. I'd take any of them over Jerod Mayo right now. It's just that the Patriots won't. The Krafts will not. The Krafts are too worried about making Belichick look like the boogeyman than they are about improving their own team. Trying to get Bob into the Hall of Fame and trying to make Belichick look bad, right? Trying to make sure that Belichick doesn't get other jobs in this league for some reason, so that the Patriots can go 3-14. Congrats, Bob. You did it. You did it, pal. Congrats. Oh, man. It's the time of the year for Christmas movies. I'm going to tell you why I'm being shut out and why Zach loves Christmas movies more than anything on the planet. That's coming up next on The Cam Show.
Unlock your full potential with Onnit, your go-to for premium supplements, fitness gear, and wellness essentials. Whether you're training hard, recovering faster, or just looking to feel your best, Onnit has the tools you need to perform at your peak. Visit Onnit, that's ONNIT.com, and elevate your mind, body, and spirit today. Join the Daily High Club, the premier destination for glass water pipes, vaporizers, and accessories. Since 2015, we've sold over 1 million quality products and teamed up with legends like Snoop Dogg and Tommy Chong. Ready to elevate your smoking game? Visit dailyhighclub.com for our El Primo subscription box or shop unique pieces today. Get paid faster with Bill, the easiest way to send, receive, and manage your payments. No more delays, no more hassle. Whether you're a freelancer or a business, Bill makes payments seamless and secure, simple, fast, and reliable. Sign up today at Bill.com. Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Combine that with OrganicHemp.com's top quality CBD for ultimate balance. Start your healing journey today at GlobalHealing.com and OrganicHemp.com.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious. Find your blend at hempdelicious.com.
Get ready for epic savings at Best Buy. Right now, you can save up to $700 on select Alienware and Dell gaming products. Perfect for leveling up your gaming experience. Plus, grab the latest Android Google Pixel at an unbeatable price. Don't miss these incredible deals. Shop now at BestBuy.com and upgrade your tech today.
We've got all these transfer portal stats and what Dion did and what Fritz has done. I mean, that's the deal, man. That's the game that's being played nowadays.
Maybe a little bit unknown at quarterback. I mean, unknown to the rest of the world, but, you know, he dove into the portal and got a guy who is super, super athletic.
South Dakota State's really good. Give us a little bit of breakdown about what they can do and what Oklahoma State needs to be worried about.
Look at that form right there. I need to say nothing else about this because I found one.
Cam Show. Cam Stewart, Zach Burke. Zach, I want to pull you in here, if I may, because this is an important time of year.
Okay.
I've talked with Pete about this. We talked some Christmas movies. I don't know if I got your take on this, because I'm realizing, and it's been last couple of years here, that I'm kind of a Christmas movie guy. Like I don't do a lot of them. It's like a tight rotation. It's like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And there are some popular ones that I really don't like, but I'm kind of a Christmassy guy.
Okay.
Because it means, I think it's become like almost subconscious. It means it's kind of the fun part of football season where you're not covering like 4 or 5 things every single day for 3 straight months. It's like bowl season and who gives a shit and sickos committee. And, it's all the other stuff too. The family, the coziness, the lights, all that. And Christmas movies plays a big part of this. What are some of the Zach Burke staples around Christmas time?
So the Zach Burke staples are a weird collection of
Kiss Save
Christmas
Santa.
movies. No, that's not on there. What is on there is the original, the 69, I think? 66, 69, one of the 2 years. I'm pretty sure it's 69 version of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Just the, like 26-minute one.
You're a mean one, yeah.
Yeah, that's all you need. They got it right the first time. We didn't need to remake it 3-4 times. I oddly enjoy watching some of the old like Rankin Bass, like claymation, like Christmas stuff.
Okay.
Do you like Rudolph?
Yeah, sure.
Or like Santa Claus's? I don't like, it doesn't matter. I'll just find one of those usually and just throw it on. There's something about that I think like makes me think of my childhood for some reason. Aside from that, Die Hard is probably one that I'll pull up usually.
Yeah.
I will watch it at other times throughout the year, but for some reason, I mean, nothing says holidays like the Christmas party at the Nakatomi Plaza.
Obviously.
I don't really have, aside from that, those are the ones that are out there every year. Now I'll try to just pepper some in. Usually I don't like to branch out too much and watch a lot of new ones. Sometimes I do walk by and we'll catch a Hallmark movie occasionally.
Yeah, baby.
Like we talked about with
Kimber Murray's in there.
Yeah. Or when we went through her whole, But no, so that's
Okay,
that's
all right,
where I
that's
say,
solid.
yeah.
Because this has become a rift almost. Because my girlfriend doesn't really love watching movies anyway.
Mhm.
Like this, she's definitely part of this TikTok generation thing. Like she can't, like the whole since I moved here, she keeps wanting to watch The Office, and like I like The Office. I
Yeah.
do. At one point, I really loved The Office. I'm just at a point where I have seen The Office way, way, way too much. Like I get it. Jim and Pam, Michael's wacky. Like I fucking understand. And by the more I watch it, the more insufferable it becomes, especially Jim and Pam. And so I'm begging her, I'm like, can we please watch some movies? Please, like it's Christmas time. And like, I don't know, just everyone's got a Christmas movie that they like, right? And she just like doesn't like any of them. Any of them. And so
No. Come on, even I mean, I don't necessarily love Elf, but it feels like everybody loves that or something.
But I'm like, can we just like let's get high and watch a bad one? I don't give a shit.
Ooh, yeah.
You know, like one that I really like watching when I'm high is Love Actually, because it's so dumb and it's almost sincere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've seen it, right?
Yeah. Funny enough, I watched it here recently. So yeah.
Banger of a movie.
Yeah.
Like, and it's, I don't know, it's kind of fun that it's, you know, told in these different stories and there's good actors in there, but like it's campy. Like they almost have it. They almost have the right amount of schmaltz in there, the way that It's a Wonderful Life does. Like it's timeless. They almost get there and they just don't. So to me, that's funny. And I like watching that. I like White Christmas and It's a Wonderful Life. I hate A Christmas Story, National Lampoon's Band, Christmas Vacation. I'm way in on that. And she won't watch any of it. Any of it. It's like really bugging me, man.
Okay,
Like,
see, my wife at least has like movies that she'll watch around this time too. One that we watch, and I'll be honest, I don't mind it as much because I've never been really big on like rom-coms and stuff like that. I don't know. But The Holiday is one she'll always watch around here. Have you ever seen The Holiday?
No.
It's with Cameron Diaz and Kate Winslet. Jack Black's in it, Jude Law's in it.
I don't even think I've heard of this, bro.
Essentially what happens is
That's because it's too woke for me. It should be called The Christmas.
Both Cameron Diaz and Kate Winslet's characters are having like bad times in their love life. So this is like pre-Airbnb. So they like get online and they find where they switch houses for like the Christmas holiday. So Kate Winslet comes over here to America to live at movie trailer producer Cameron Diaz's house in swanky LA, where she befriends like an old sound director and stuff. And, you know, falls in love with quirky Jack Black because they want to make everybody think that, hey, you guys have a chance too, but not with Cameron Diaz, just with Kate Winslet.
Yeah.
No disrespect. I mean, Kate Winslet is a very attractive woman, but and then Cameron Diaz goes back over to the UK where she falls for Kate Winslet's brother, Jude Law.
Wow.
At the end, spoiler alert, they all end up having Christmas together and stuff, and it all works out fantastic. But that's the holiday. It's not a bad movie. It's really not.
So you know what it leads me to, because over the weekend we did have some recreational vitamin usage, and so it just became her playing The Sims on her laptop and me watching Slapshot, because I just like I couldn't sell it hard enough to her. I was like, and I think she's seen it but didn't remember any of it. I think Slapshot is one of the greatest comedy movies ever made.
I've never seen it.
Oh, brother.
I'm just being honest. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm telling you, it is one of the best comedy movies ever. In fact, you can make a real case that it's the best comedy movie, and for my money, the best movie decade of all time, which is the 70s. Now, that up against Animal House is tough. They're both great, but it's have you heard of Slapshot?
Yeah.
Okay,
No, I know.
so
Paul Newman's in it. Yeah.
Yes, minor league hockey in the 70s.
It's there's brothers, right? The
Hanson brothers.
Okay.
Yes, and they goon it up, and it's just about this team becoming like characters, kind of like the Broad Street Bullies, the Flyers of the day, and just becoming maniacs. And it's perfect fucking humor, man. There's this one scene right at the beginning, like the first scene. They're doing like the national anthem. They're getting ready for a game. There's like a handful of people in the arena. And, it's like at center, Paul Newman, Reggie Dunlop. And they're like, you suck, Dunlop. And they got the guy, Cornway comes out. And it's just this woman who's like 20, in her 20s. And she yells, camera zooms in on her. She yells out, frog pussy. It's fucking just great, man. Like every scene has something funny in it. And believe it or not, because I got to warn this when I watch something with my girlfriend, like most all of the scenes hold up comedically. There are one or two things where I'm like, you're not going to like this joke. One or two things. But for the most part, like it really holds up, dude. Paul Newman's great in it. Michael Ontkean from Twin Peaks. Seen Twin Peaks. He's alongside as one of the big stars in it. And there's a great scene. Let's link it back to Christmas movies. I might have said this on the show, but let's link it back to Christmas movies. There's a scene I literally paused. Grace was cooking. I made her come out and see this. But there's a scene after Paul Newman has slept with a young lady and they're talking in bed and she sits up and she's got a very nice 70s rack. Very nice. And I remember watching that as a kid and being like, damn, that is a good pair right there.
Wait, so that's why you brought Grace on?
Well, I paused it and I go, Grace, look at this rack. It's pretty good. And she's like, yeah, it's pretty good. And I'm
then
like,
that was it. And then you went,
no. Like this scene, like this woman, this good-looking woman who's naked is talking about this like very erotic experience she's having about starting to sleep with women. And it's like kind of hot, right? And I'm like, I make her watch this. She's like, why are you making me watch this? And I go, that lady there is the mom in A Christmas Story.
You did talk about that on the show, yeah.
Which I didn't find out until like the last year or two. I had no idea. And she had one of the great responses she's ever had. And she was like, oh, okay, I've never seen A Christmas Story. And I was like, on one, like I couldn't even decide where to go with this. I was shit, yeah, because I hate A Christmas Story, but also, how have you never seen it?
I mean, I saw it once, and that was once enough for me.
It's on for like 30 straight hours.
Yeah, TBS used to run marathons, all day marathons. I think
they still do. Like
do
6
they?
o'clock.
No, I honestly remember
till midnight the next
going
day.
to school with people who would be legit excited about it being on marathon form, and I just could never process that.
I think my parents still like it, but this came, by the way, this Slapshot thing came after we were the night before looking through shitty movies. And the movie Cedar Rapids popped up. You ever seen Cedar Rapids?
Name sounds familiar, but
it was kind of like Diet Judd Apatow type comedy in the late aughts. It was Ed Helms who was doing The Office at the time, and it's about him like going to a conference in Cedar Rapids, and it gets wild. And it's supposed to be kind of hangover type humor. And so we start watching that. I'm like, I suggested it as a joke, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to get high anyway. So why not? Let's just do it. And we didn't even get past the first scene, Zach. The first scene. Because the guy is some sort of insurance salesman. I think it's life insurance, if I had to guess the setting of which he was doing. And he's like, don't worry. We'll take care of you. He's like talking to a young couple. And Grace goes, we can't watch this. I was like, what? Why? Other than the obvious of that it sucks. And she was like, it's too close to home right now. Is this guy in health insurance? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, she turned off the movie because a health insurance CEO was murdered last week. And she was like, it's too close. I'm like, we don't even know that he's selling health insurance. And he's not a CEO. She's like, yeah, but I mean, you know how much they back out of these deals and I'm at their most vulnerable. I'm like, what is this? It's a movie. It is a movie with Ed Helms. Like, what? So we had to turn that off and watch 22 Jump Street, which she didn't even finish. So
I get it to an extent of like, sometimes because I am one of the people who abides
I needed to get you on here as the woke voice of reason for me here.
Thank you. As somebody who like, I understand, like sometimes you just want to completely like just check out of like what's going on in the around you. So like that's why a lot of times I do watch a lot of like the, I don't know, the superhero stuff that I do, like the anime, because it's something that.
By the way, this was kind of my argument. I was like, it's a movie. I guarantee you the movie is not going to be about him selling health insurance and denying claims. True. I guarantee you. In fact, that is going to be like a complete, probably non sequitur. You know, like who remembers what Bradley Cooper's job was in The Hangover? Nobody, right? Like teachers can be corrupt too.
You obviously remembered what it was.
I do because I watch a lot of movies. But fuck, no.
I get the point you're making there of how the story is going to differentiate from it. My point is though, is sometimes I think when people want to disassociate, they want to completely disassociate. So anything in that realm still just kind of brings it back into your mind. So I get why she went with 22 Jump Street, but is it like Major League?
She doesn't like cops either, so I don't know. Anyway,
well, does she like Channing Tatum?
And we did discuss. I mean, this is I really liked those movies when it came out. I mean, still like them, but like I saw 21 Jump Street theaters. Was a huge fan of it. Snuck in when I was in high school. It's rated R. And I think it's now important to look back that I think they're only like 23 or 24. They're supposed to be pretty young, those characters, even though they're clearly not that young. But he's lusting after a teenager in the first one. Jonah Hill is. She's like 16, 17. And then the captain's daughter in the second one, who's like 20. It's odd. It's odd. And so probably shouldn't be just like sleeping with these women while he's undercover, but whatever. I guess. Problematic.
That brings up a good point that you kind of brought up with slap shots of where you're like, oh, this joke's not going to land. Major League growing up was like it's still my favorite sports movie, and I will quote it all the time, and I think it's hilarious. The whole Tom Berenger, Rene Russo storyline in there now, though.
It's weird. Pete said this was not weird. We talked about this with Pete. He was like, no, come on. I'm like, he stalks her. He
exactly. He steals a bullpen car to drive home, like to follow her home.
I remember even as a kid being like,
up. He follows her up to her apartment and interrupts a dinner she's having with her current boyfriend or fiance.
Fucking weird. I do remember even as like a teenager being like, oh, that's kind of odd. And now I'm like, this is just weird.
Now the rest, if we can get like Major League Sands, Berenger, Russo, like love triangle or storyline, it's perfect then, because it's just about a ragtag baseball team that's hilarious to follow.
The owners against them.
Yeah. Oh, you're seeing. Oh yes, anyway. I like Jesus. Good for fastball, but no hit curveball. Are you saying Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball? The whole movie, it's filled with great quotes. Like,
so Slapshot.
I need to watch it. Where can I stream it? I think you should,
man. You'll like it. I had to rent it, which sucks.
Okay.
I had to rent it. And I want to buy a DVD because I watch that a couple of times a year, man. Like, it doesn't get old. I fucking love it. Anyway, yeah, I think Slapshot is one of the best comedy movies of all time.
I'll watch it.
Taking away sports, taking away 70s. I think it's one of the best of all time. And I would love to get someone from the cast on the show. I've tried a couple of times. It has not worked yet. Zach, work on booking Paul Newman. Okay. All right. Zach is on that.
I mean, I'm not going to say that our hopes are high, but yeah.
It's an uphill battle. But you'll have to tune in tomorrow on the Cam Show to see if we get Paul Newman on here. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Most of you that watch and listen every day, I want to thank you, but you aren't subscribed. It really helps out the channel a lot if you do. The likes help too. Leave a comment underneath on what you think of Slapshot or the Patriots or anything else that sucks. Slapshot doesn't suck. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow, high noon Eastern time, live on YouTube, and then wherever you get your podcasts on the Cam Show.
Transform your workspace with Hanomi Ergonomics. From adjustable chairs to standing desks, we provide solutions for comfort and productivity, whether at home or in the office. Improve your posture, reduce strain, and work smarter. Visit us at hanomi.co today. That's HINOMI.co today. Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internex. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. Enjoy seamless, fast storage without compromising security. Visit Internext.com today and take control of your digital life. That's INTERNXT.com today. Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com. Tusane's, we understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone, anywhere. Committed to excellence, we adopt a user-centric approach guided by ergonomics and medical science. With a team of seasoned professionals in R&D, design, and manufacturing, we prioritize quality across our entire product line. Visit Tusains.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com.